Good evening, this is DRM News, bringing you a critical update from the Vatican. Pope Leo, addressing the world during his Sunday Angelus prayer on July 27, 2025, has raised a powerful plea for peace amid escalating crises in Gaza and beyond. His words come as a stark warning to the international community, highlighting the dire humanitarian situation gripping millions. Let's dive into the details explained simply for you, our viewers, as this story unfolds. Pope Leo began his address with a heartfelt focus on Gaza, where he says civilians are being crushed by hunger and relentlessly exposed to violence and death. In his own words,
I follow with great concern the very serious humanitarian situation in Gaza, where the civilian population is being crushed by hunger and continues to be exposed to violence and death. I renew my heartfelt appeal for a ceasefire, the release of hostages, and full respect for humanitarian law.
Rinnovo il mio accorato appello al cessate il fuoco, alla liberazione degli ostaggi, e al rispetto integrale del diritto umanitario.
The pontiff's call for an immediate ceasefire, the release of hostages, and adherence to international humanitarian law underscores the gravity of the situation. Gaza's 2.2 million residents are facing mass hunger, with the Gaza Health Ministry reporting 127 deaths from malnutrition since the war began, including 85 children. These numbers paint a grim picture of a population on the brink. In a significant development, Israel announced today it will pause military operations for 10 hours daily in parts of Gaza to allow new aid deliveries. However, aid groups and the United Nations argue this is not enough. The UN emphasized last week that humanitarian pauses could help scale up assistance, but Israel's restrictions on aid routes continue to hinder convoys. Israel, for its part, insists it is committed to allowing aid, but must prevent it from reaching militants, blaming Hamas for the suffering of Gaza's people. The crisis has sparked international alarm. French President Emmanuel Macron recently announced plans to recognize a Palestinian state in September, a move driven by growing concern over Gaza's plight. Meanwhile, ceasefire talks between Israel, the US, and Hamas appear to have collapsed, with both sides claiming the other is unwilling to negotiate. Beyond Gaza, Pope Leo extended his prayers to other conflict zones, specifically the clashes along the Thailand-Cambodia border and the violence in southern Syria. Speaking to crowds gathered for the Angelus prayer, he said,
In particular, I pray for the people involved in the clashes on the border between Thailand and Cambodia, especially for the children and displaced families. May the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, inspire everyone to seek dialogue and reconciliation. I pray for the victims of the violence in southern Syria.
Prego per le vittime delle violenze nel sud della Siria.
His words resonated with thousands watching the Angelus prayer on screens in St. Peter's Square, a reminder of the Vatican's call for dialogue and reconciliation in a world fraught with conflict. Pope Leo's address is more than a spiritual appeal. It's a wake-up call to world leaders and citizens alike. The crises in Gaza, Thailand, Cambodia, and Syria highlight the urgent need for humanitarian action and diplomacy. As the pontiff urges respect for humanitarian law and an end to violence, the question remains: will the international community heed his call? Stay with DRM News as we continue to monitor this developing story. We'll bring you the latest updates on the ground and reactions from global leaders. For now, Pope Leo's message is clear: peace and compassion must prevail.